So you've gotten a lot of information from me about building audiences, building relationships, creating your personal brand. We spoke a little bit about not losing that, not having people give up on you, treating your audience and your customers appropriately. There's more to be said about keeping relationships going. I want to tell you a story about a pretty big meltdown with some big names. If you've been paying attention to social media for a while, you're going to know the names Jason Calacanis and Mike Arrington. Jason is very famous for, as of late, Mahalo.com. User-based, response-based search engine basically is what we have. You ask a question and the community rallies around it to have it answered for you. Arrington was the owner of TechCrunch before it got sold to AOL. I guess he's going to stay on after that or whatever, but he was the founder of that. Well, Jason and Mike, they had come together to create TechCrunch 50. And that was a conference for startups, companies who would get together, launch their product, tell the world about their service, their site, their product, whatever it may be, and help get funding, help get in the space and grow and change the world. Now, that went on for 3 years before there was a big blowout. Who really knows the real behind the scenes of this? But the relationship went sour. Well, what had happened is Mike and Jason formed an LLC. They came together, they made a partnership for this, and they created it. When it went away, nothing was really said about it. They figured whenever it became important, they would part as partners and friends the way they should. Well, that didn't happen. TechCrunch was bought by AOL. Mike took the proceeds, became super rich, and Jason was left twisting in the breeze. This is going to sound a little bit biased, and that's because it is. I am a supporter of Jason Calacanis. I believe in what he does. He's got a really cool first name. And Mike has always been somebody who I've never really agreed with. I've actually had a little bit of minor Twitter-based dialogue with him, and I just don't see eye to eye with this guy ever. I don't like how he treats his employees. I don't like how his reporting is done. I just don't have a lot good to say about Mike Arrington. Calacanis, on the other hand, I believe in him and the way he operates. Regardless of that, here's the real meat of the story here. They were friends, they created an LLC, they figured that would be enough to keep things going the way that it was supposed to. The problem is, when friends do business, they tend to leave some of the legal jargon out. And as they say, the devil is in the details. Nobody foresaw this AOL buy, but it happened. And now, what do we have? We have Jason, for the first time in his life, actually taking legal action. He's not big on that. He tries to let things resolve the way that they should without going to the courts. But now he's suing Mike Arrington for his half. They both came together. They both invested in this time, energy, money, a system of beliefs to get behind these companies. And things kind of fell apart. Mike made a bundle on this, and Jason's left in the cold. So you need to create your brand. Build your audience based on that brand. When you're done with that and you have a solid audience, which you're never really done with, but after the initial startup routines are done, you have your audience. You've got to be nice to them. You've got to be good to them. You can't be rude. Treat them as people who are going to sustain your brand. In the event it doesn't last, those people who are not here and here with you, but here, your parallels, your partners, your peers, make sure you're in a position to walk away from that cleanly and smoothly, okay? Because you don't want to have people making disparaging comments about your brand because you guys didn't have the forethought to set things up properly, legally, from the get-go, all right? We go into the social space and it becomes about interaction and less about paperwork and legal nonsense. But that plays a part, right? Don't get caught up in it, of course. But the point here is always consider all facets of these things. You have to remember this. You don't want to end up somebody who has been your biggest champion of your cause because he's your partner and friend, now the one undercutting your value after the fact. All right, look into that, think about it, ask the question, put it on paper. A handshake is great when you're getting along, but it means nothing when you're not. Right? Pay attention to these things. Building your brand is great, but sustaining your brand is as important, if not more. When you get to that point, it will become paramount to you. Do what it takes. Keep your brand going. Keep your audience happy. Keep your partners happy. And protect yourself. Because while you may not lose money, There's a lot of time invested in this. There's a lot of your heart if you believe in what you're doing. Remember, we talked about creating your brand built around your passion. So don't let detail-based items take away from your passion. That's the most important lesson. We'll have more soon.